Hi, I'm Sunil, and although I look Indian, according to my passport, I'm Canadian, right? So I've moved one step up on the social ladder. The next step is finding a Dutch sugar mama, getting that sweet EU citizenship, and then spending the rest of my birthday sitting around in a circle congratulating each other, right? Considering the results of the recent election, I should probably hurry up. So, if anyone here has that beautiful little red book and is looking for a Canadian house husband who has no money but great taste, I'm available, right? I moved to Canada when I was 15, and it took me moving to Canada to realize that my mom is a racist, right? I figured this out because I'd see her taking pleasure in watching white people do the most basic things, right? Like, we'd be out on a drive and she'd see a white person picking up their dog's poop, and she'd turn to me and go, "Fuck yeah, pick up that poop." Payback for colonialism, right? I asked a friend of mine recently what her dream job was, and she looked at me and said, "Sunil, I don't dream of labor." Fair enough, I agree with you. That's why I moved here to study anthropology. I don't know, does anyone here know what anthropology is? Yeah, what is it? Yes, the study of human beings. Some people call it that. I call it disappointing my Indian parents even more than I thought was possible. But a hot topic right now in anthropology is climate change, right? And despite my accent, I believe that climate change is real. Human beings have destroyed this planet beyond repair. Did you guys know there's even an island floating in the middle of the ocean composed entirely of garbage? And that island is called the United Kingdom, right? I'm kidding. I love the UK. I recently got back from a vacation there. The UK is like my second home right now. And that's because it is browner than the water in the canal outside, right? Even the Prime Minister is one of us. And by one of us, I mean a xenophobe, obviously. Still, it was nice to get out of the Netherlands for a while, see some different sights, you know? Like a hill. It was also nice to see some people who were shorter and less good looking than me for a change. You tall Dutch bastards. If this was the Lord of the Rings, the Dutch would definitely be the elves, right? Tall and fair with beautiful cities, except for this one maybe. Also, unable to express their emotions or take criticism. The races of men would be the Spaniards and Italians, fleeing their once great countries due to economic ruin. The hobbits would definitely be Turkish people, right? Hairy feet and a breakfast that never ends. 100% Turkish. I had a hard time figuring out who the Indians would be. Probably Gollum, because nobody likes us. But I really do love living in Rotterdam. Rotterdam is raar, that's the only phrase that I know in Dutch. But I used to live in Utrecht, and when my mom came to visit me there, I took her to see like the Oudegracht, the canals, Dom Tower. Here, when she came over, I took her to see a statue of a gnome holding a giant butt plug, right? I've been trying to date here. Anyone else trying to date? No? It's not working out for me, right? I think my issue is that my standards are too high to date someone with low enough standards to date me, right? Like, I am not my type's type. Whenever someone says that they genuinely care about me, I just stare at that person and think, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? Despite that, it's hard to believe, but I have dated other human beings in my life. I used to be an English teacher in Korea, and when I lived there, I dated this girl who spoke like 3 words in English, and I spoke 5 in Korean. And at the beginning, it sounds great, right? Like, no nagging, no fighting, just pure physical chemistry. But after a while, it got old, especially for someone like me. Like, I need to be able to talk shit with the person that I'm with. But, the last straw for me came when I was venting to her about my job. And I go, I really like the kids, but my job is really boring. And she goes, oh yeah? I really want to try bowling too. And that was it. I knew something had to be done then and there, right? So obviously I took her bowling. She was way too cute to give up on that easily, right? I also think part of my problem is that I have daddy issues. Like, I spent my formative years in Canada with just my mum, so I never learned how to do manly things like tie a tie or speak to a woman. But it's easy to tell when a girl has daddy issues, right? Maybe she has blue hair, some bad tattoos, and a pure septum. But do you know how you tell if a guy has daddy issues? It's also in the way that they look. And by that I mean they're black. Sorry, Short. I'm not racist. I'm brown. I can't be racist. I have no power. Right? Google actually says that the common traits of a man with daddy issues is a fear of abandonment and a tendency towards self-sabotage. So it's more likely they look like an Indian man who came here to do a master's and is now instead doing open mic nights in the hopes of getting free alcohol, right? But I'm trying to work on myself. My fellow Canadian and University of Toronto alumni, Jordan Peterson, says the key to a successful day is making your bed. So every morning when I wake up, I make my bed, and then I get back in it and cry. Also, fuck Jordan Peterson. Despite what I said, I'm not picky when it comes to women, right? When people ask me what my type is, I say human and female. And at this point, with the lights off, even that's negotiable. But there is one thing that makes me hate someone instantly. You know what that is? I'll tell you. It's when you ask them what their passions are or what they're interested in, and they go, oh yeah, I really like food and traveling. No way, you and every other human being on planet Earth, right? That's like a plant saying I really love sunlight and turning carbon dioxide into oxygen. Could you be any more basic? That being said, I personally really love food and traveling. But when I travel, I don't do it like a normal person, right? A normal person might try out the local food, see some landmarks, go to a cultural event. Me, I go straight for the toilets. Because I think nothing reveals more about a country and its people than their toilets. Take Thailand, for example, right? In Thailand, they have something called a bum gun. And the bum gun is a water gun that you use to spray your butthole clean after doing the deed. And in Thailand, it's a country that people go to have fun. So it makes sense that they have a water gun in the toilet. Also, after having a spicy pad thai on the street, you realize the need for it. Okay. But the first thing I noticed about the toilets here are the tiny sinks, right? I don't know if you guys have seen like these tiny sinks in the toilets here. And I always wondered, why do such a gigantic people have such tiny sinks? And then a friend of mine, a girl, told me the reason. Dick pics. Everything looks bigger next to a Dutch sink. It's the whole banana for scale thing, right? It didn't really work for me, but it's good information to know. And the last thing I want to leave you with on my thesis about toilets is the poop shelf. You know, in the old toilets here in the Netherlands, they have something called a poop shelf. It's where your poop sits before it disappears into the abyss forever. And in other countries, once you do a poo and you get up and turn around, your poop is not just sitting there, staring right back at you, right? Direct and confrontational, just like Dutch people. And what that teaches you is that in order to live in this country, you have to learn to deal with your own shit. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much. Take care. I love you.
Sunil, everybody, make some noise for us. Okay. Yeah. You having fun still? You having fun? You having fun? Hell yeah. You guys ready for the next comedian?